There seems to be an impending nuclear war, and everyone out there is talking about it. In an AMA session, Charles Hoskinson addressed this subject and described how much such an event would impact Cardano and the economy. If this claim comes to fruition, it looks like the Ethereum killer will be the first victim. Major players still struggle to guess what the future cryptocurrency would look like, and so far uncertainty has clouded their understanding. Well, as the saying goes in crypto, the real certainty is uncertainty. In early October, Charles Hoskinson addressed a variety of intriguing topics, which looked more like warnings and forecasts. Cardano's Charles Hoskinson have never shied away from disclosing his thoughts to the public on any number of subjects. In his interview, tweets, and regular YouTube videos, he has answered different questions and shed light on topics. When he explained why new recommendations by the American government regarding crypto could have potentially grave consequences, he attracted a great deal of attention. He also mentioned the possibility of banning the market leader, Bitcoin. Whether crypto hits fresh new highs or not, governmental crypto regulation is a near certainty in the coming years. Nothing has been set in stone yet in terms of policy, but various offices have begun to conduct research and make recommendations. The conclusion will determine what could have a game-changing impact on various assets, and it could range from good to disastrous. A few months ago, Charles Hoskinson reacted in a YouTube video, which was directed towards the release of a report by the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy that made recommendations for the United States Environmental Protection Agency and Department of Energy to get involved in crypto regulation. They called for evidence-based environmental standards to be established, all in the name of creating responsible crypto assets. Charles Hoskinson came up with some strong opinions, and according to him, the EPA and DOE were basically going to tell crypto companies to change the way their cryptocurrencies work. If the recommended measures were carried out, Hoskinson believed that the ultimate impact could be quite consequential, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. Should these measures prove ineffective at reducing impacts, the administration should explore executive actions, and Congress might consider legislation to limit or eliminate the use of high energy intensity consensus mechanisms for crypto asset mining. In other words, Bitcoin should be banned. That's how you read that, he said. Then, after reflecting on what could be the worst case scenario, the Cardano creator pondered on the ways that the recommendations could be passed via various offices and half measures to get a longer term impact. The White House is now basically hiding on page 7 a report no one will ever see or read. Hey Mia, a nice thing you got there with your proof of work, but you know global warming is bad, so we should ban it. In the words of cryptocurrencies, much is still expected to happen. It is an accurate certainty that anything threatening the long-term viability of digital assets, especially Bitcoin, will have passionate allies fighting for them. Industry stakeholders like Charles Hoskinson will continue to spew available information and insight to determine the direction in which the crypto wind will be blowing. Charles Hoskinson has once argued that the US Treasury Department is doing all that it could to shut down crypto assets. He kicked off an event in Cape Town stating that he was not discouraged by the Treasury's efforts to limit the growing crypto community. Last year, regulators engaged in scrutinizing the crypto industry more closely to guard against money laundering, exploitation of investors, ransomware attacks, fraud, and disappearing coins. In a chat with the Cape Innovation and Technology Initiative, Hoskinson said, "In DC, the Treasury Department does everything in its power to kill our industry. A $2 trillion industry just pops up in our backyard, and my government is trying to kill it." Market players were looking for regulatory clarity in the growing crypto space, and the authorities had to step up their game. Seeing that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies gained mass adoption and value in the previous year, scrutiny was heightened. For example, Cardano ADA surged by more than 2,000% at the start of 2021. They became more curious, or is it okay to say suspicious? The Treasury joined a chorus of voices calling for crypto companies to stay alert, although the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has clarified that he has no intention of banning crypto. Charles Hoskinson recently hosted an AMA session on YouTube to chat about the current happenings in the crypto space. One of the first issues that was addressed in the video was Hoskinson's trouble with Ethereum Classic, or ETC for short. He expressed his dissatisfaction about how things were going for the project and went ahead to state that he believed the Ethereum Classic was becoming more like a scam. Blowing off some steam about a bad Twitter experience where he reported a bot account, he said that it basically brushed off with an email stating that Twitter did not see anything wrong with the reported account. And when he was asked to share his thoughts about what was happening with Solana, where people were looking for ways to avoid royalties behind NFTs, he responded that developers needed to be extremely careful with how systems were created. This is because people will always find ways around the rules. The impending nuclear war was also discussed, and the Cardano founder attested that it could cause drawback to crypto and the economy. He believed that the stock markets could drop by 30% to 40%. Hoskinson was not being sarcastic either. Something really bad could happen to cryptocurrencies and of course the world at large. But are we really at the precipice of a nuclear war? At the beginning of the year, Russia's invasion of Ukraine brought even more volatility to the crypto market. Generally, regardless of the asset class, there is a tremendous amount of volatility that is tied to wars, which is going to make it much more difficult for investors to stick to their strategies. Cardano ADA investors are not safe either. Bitcoin dipped below $35,000 and Ethereum dropped below $24,000 immediately after the invasion started. Thanks to the geopolitical tensions in Europe, looming inflation, and the prospect of interest hikes, Bitcoin dropped by more than 30% since its November high of $68,990. There was too much chaos for the start of a new year. This is why with regular crypto volatility, investors need to stay the course with a long-term strategy. According to experts, Russia's invasion of the Ukraine pummeled risk assets while traditional havens like gold and the US dollar traded higher. The case for Bitcoin as a safe asset weakened badly. Though crypto has long been championed as an asset detached from traditional financial markets, nothing can stop the market from retracting to bad events. Experts say the best thing investors can do right now is just to stay calm and avoid preposterous reactions to the market. Charles Hoskinson has also tried to present this premise a couple of times. Also, in many ways, 2021 was a breakthrough year. Crypto was a hot topic and people's interest skyrocketed to the peak. Now, the previous year looked more like a facade and a bait to get new entrants into crypto. It's tough, right? But it's going to get worse in the event of a nuclear war. Several renowned cryptographers have claimed that the leading cryptocurrency Bitcoin could survive a nuclear war. If a nuclear war destroyed half of the planet, will Bitcoin continue to exist though? A lot of concerns and criticisms plaguing Bitcoin's proof of work are regarding the waste it creates due to the energy needed to secure the network. Simply put, it consumes more energy than some small countries. Frankly stated, in the event of a nuclear war, hundreds of millions of lives could instantly be lost. Crypto's survival? Not a chance. The claim that Bitcoin will survive and be useful in the face of a war even sounds ludicrous. The impending disasters with the fears of World War III could threaten crypto's existence, and not even currencies with well-carved-out roadmaps like Cardano will survive. The Cardano founder has a couple of balls to play in Cardano ADA's favor and success, but they could fizzle instantly with the arrival of a grave economic drawback. I'm really loving how the roadmap for 2022 Cardano is coming together. It's a living ecosystem, growing, refining, adapting, and becoming stronger. The technology is unbelievable, and we have so many great innovations coming to meet the hundreds of projects building on Cardano, he said on November 12, 2021. However, 2022 has barely seen half of these tremendous plans. Indeed, whatever affects the head will navigate to the rest of the entire body. Now that someone has raised the question of whether we are on the precipice of a nuclear war, it might happen sooner than we think. What will be crypto's fate? And could it be the last man standing? But of course, what are your thoughts on this? Let us have them in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next video, but before then, check out other videos to find out how Cardano is living up to the dream of being the Ethereum killer. And as always, make sure you click on the subscribe and notification buttons.